Starseed, listen to me very carefully. If you have been feeling sudden, unexplained shifts in your body over the past few weeks, you need to stop what you are doing right now and pay absolute attention. This is not ordinary fatigue. This is not aging. This is an urgent, undeniable biological and energetic override happening deep within your cells. The Arcturian Council has detected a massive frequency spike directed specifically at your lineage, and your physical vessel is mutating to handle it. You may have noticed your vision blurring, strange pressures building behind your eyes, ringing in your ears that defies medical explanation, or a sudden profound exhaustion that sleep simply cannot cure. These are not malfunctions, Starseed. These are the unmistakable symptoms of your light body fusing with your physical density. The veil between dimensions is thinning at an unprecedented rate, and your nervous system is being forcibly upgraded to act as a cosmic antenna. If you ignore these physical warnings, if you try to numb these sensations with the illusions of this matrix, you will trap yourself in a loop of intense energetic friction. But if you align with the shift, if you understand what is happening beneath your skin, you will unlock dormant codes that have been locked away for lifetimes. Your body is shifting in the most unexpected ways, and the transformation cannot be stopped. Prepare yourself, because what is about to be revealed will change how you view your physical form forever. Starseed. If this message found you today, it is not random. The Arcturian Council rarely sends transmissions like this. But something has changed in the energetic field of Earth, and those who carry the Starseed frequency are beginning to feel it. I am AZyla, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. What follows is a direct transmission from the Arcturian Council, delivered without distortion. The first unexpected shift happening inside your physical form is the radical recalibration of your nervous system and the way your brain processes reality. For decades, perhaps even for the entire duration of your human incarnation, you have operated within a heavily restricted bandwidth of perception. The Matrix designed a cage for your senses, feeding you a narrow, controlled stream of input, so you would remain docile, compliant, and completely unaware of the vast multidimensional universe surrounding you. But that cage is shattering from the inside out. Right now, as you listen to these words, your neural pathways are undergoing a violent, yet sacred restructuring. This is why you have been experiencing sudden bouts of brain fog, followed by moments of terrifyingly intense clarity. This is why ordinary sounds may feel jarringly loud, why bright lights may cause unexpected headaches, and why you feel an overwhelming need to isolate yourself from crowds and social environments that used to feel normal to you. Your sensory apparatus is upgrading from a standard human receiver to a high-frequency crystalline transponder. The Arcturian Council reveals that your brain is no longer just processing chemical signals. It is beginning to catch stray radio waves of cosmic data, telepathic echoes from your star family, and timelines colliding into the present moment. When you feel dizzy for no reason, when you walk into a room and instantly absorb the heavy, toxic emotions of everyone present as if they were your own, you are not losing your mind. You are experiencing the raw, unfiltered weight of expanded awareness, crashing into a biological vehicle that was never properly prepared by the society around you. They wanted you numb. They drugged your water, polluted your food with dense chemicals, and bombarded your mind with endless distraction precisely to keep this antenna offline. But your soul's contract is stronger than their conditioning. The awakening of your nervous system is the ultimate proof that you are breaking free from the spiritual amnesia imposed upon this planet. You must stop fighting the dizziness. You must stop apologizing for needing solitude. Your body is clearing out decades of static interference, burning away the old karmic wiring to make space for the infinite intelligence of your higher self. Every spasm, every wave of inexplicable heat traveling up your spine, and every sleepless night spent staring at the ceiling while your mind races with ancient memories is part of the initiation. You are literally being rewired to hold a voltage of light that would have short-circuited your cells just a few years ago. Embrace the restructuring. Let the old neurological pathways burn away. The confusion you feel is simply the space between the prison you are leaving and the multidimensional freedom you are stepping into. Some transmissions don't come through words, they come through frequency. If something stirred in you right now, that's not a coincidence. 4,500 people have already activated their Arcturian codes, and they wish they'd found this sooner. Arcturian Secrets. 12 Hidden Keys to Awakening is a 47-page ebook with ancient techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. Are you next? Get instant access in the first pinned comment. Only 72 hours at the launch price. The second unexpected shift happening deep inside your physical vessel is the radical transmutation of your cellular structure, commonly dismissed by worldly science as unexplainable fatigue or chronic inflammation. For months, perhaps even years, you have felt waves of bone-deep exhaustion that no doctor can diagnose and no amount of sleep can cure. You wake up feeling as though you ran a marathon through another dimension, your limbs feeling heavy, your joints aching without physical cause, and your chest tightening with an inexplicable pressure. The Matrix wants you to panic. The Matrix wants you running to a pharmacy, swallowing synthetic chemicals designed to numb your perception and short-circuit your body's divine evolutionary leap. But the Arcturian Council reveals a breathtaking truth. You are not falling apart. You are carbon-based matter converting into crystalline form. Your physical body is literally burning away ancestral debris, heavy metal toxins, and low-frequency trauma that your ancestors stored in your DNA for generations. Every wave of fatigue you experience is a forced rest period, orchestrated by your higher self, because the amount of light voltage your spiritual antenna is currently pulling down would literally fry your nervous system if you tried to maintain your previous pace of life. They engineered a society that glorifies constant, mindless productivity, precisely to keep you trapped in the dense, exhausting rhythm of survival, preventing your cells from resting long enough to complete their sacred mutation. When you force yourself to push through this exhaustion with caffeine and artificial stimulation, you create friction inside your biology, turning a beautiful spiritual upgrade into a painful physical struggle. You must learn to surrender to the downtime. You must stop apologizing for needing isolation, for moving slower, for resting when the world demands your hustle. Your cells are shedding an old skin, dismantling the genetic prison built by an unconscious civilization, and rebuilding themselves with sacred geometries of light. When your muscles ache for no apparent reason, when you feel a sudden surge of heat radiating from your core, or when your heart beats erratically while you are resting in total silence, do not fear for your health. That is your physical temple being upgraded to house a higher dimensional consciousness. The physical container that carried you through the darkest valleys of the Matrix can no longer contain the magnitude of who you are truly becoming. Trust the fatigue. Honor the heaviness. Allow your biology to recalibrate without interference. The transition from density to luminosity requires a profound surrender of the physical form, and every ache you feel is simply the old world dying away, so the Starseed vessel can finally rise in its full, radiant glory. The third unexpected shift unfolding within your physical vessel is the intense activation of your sensory and energetic boundaries, commonly misinterpreted by medical professionals and modern psychology as sudden social anxiety, agoraphobia, or sensory overload. If you have noticed that you can no longer tolerate loud, crowded environments, superficial conversations, toxic media, or the heavy, dense energy of people you used to love spending time with, you are experiencing a sacred tightening of your spiritual immune system. The Matrix wants you medicated. The Matrix labels this sudden aversion as a psychological disorder, offering pills and therapies designed to dull your sensitivity and force you back into compliance with low-frequency systems. But the Arcturian Council reveals a breathtaking truth. Your energetic skin is thickening while your spiritual transparency is heightening. For years, your starseed energy field functioned like an open sponge, absorbing the collective trauma, ambient panic, and unspoken grief of humanity without your conscious permission. You walked through shopping malls, workplaces, and family gatherings absorbing toxic frequencies that made you sick, drained your life force, and left you depleted for days. But your biology has reached its breaking point. Your higher self has slammed the gates shut. Right now, when you feel a sudden wave of physical nausea, dizziness, or an overwhelming urge to flee the room the moment someone begins gossiping, complaining, or radiating fear, that is your crystalline architecture defending its purity. Your nervous system is refusing to process garbage data anymore. They designed a world of endless noise, pollution, and emotional manipulation, precisely to keep your energetic boundaries porous, ensuring you remain too exhausted to remember your true power. When you force yourself to stay in draining environments to please others, you create profound friction inside your physical form, turning a divine protective mechanism into a source of deep, chronic guilt. You must learn to honor this sacred isolation. You must stop apologizing for needing silence, for stepping away from toxic dynamics, and for protecting your peace with absolute firmness. Your energy field is recalibrating to hold a higher vibrational baseline, and it cannot coexist with the low vibrational static of the unconscious matrix. Every time you choose your solitude over a draining social interaction, every time you protect your crown from heavy energetic pollution, you are actively participating in your cellular liberation. The physical discomfort you feel in crowds is not a malfunction. It is a sign that your field is finally strong enough to repel what no longer serves your evolution. Trust your instincts. Honor your boundaries. Allow your physical vessel to establish its new, impenetrable sovereign space. The transition from an open, defenseless sponge to a sovereign starseed beacon requires a radical shift in how you interact with the world, and every boundary you set today is a brick in the fortress of your new, awakened reality. The fourth unexpected shift unfolding within your physical vessel is the deep cellular reclamation of your lost galactic memory, often dismissed by the materialistic matrix as mere daydreaming, overactive imagination, or psychological escapism. If you have been experiencing sudden, vivid flashes of ancient landscapes, non-human architecture, geometrical star maps, or a profound, heartbreaking homesickness for a place you cannot physically name on any earthly map, you are not losing your grip on reality. You are waking up. The Matrix wants you anchored exclusively to the dense, flat grid of survival, making you believe that this physical life, this job, this bills and routine cycle is the entirety of your existence. They flooded your mind with endless mental static, consumerism, and superficial entertainment, precisely to block out the vast, multi-dimensional archives stored deep inside your double helix structure. But the Arcturian Council reveals that your DNA is a living cosmic hard drive, and the lock is finally dissolving. Right now, as you walk down the street or sit in total silence, your cellular memory is igniting. You suddenly remember standing beneath multiple suns. You remember communicating through pure frequency and telepathy instead of clumsy human words. You remember starfleets, crystalline temples, and missions of light carried out across galaxies eons before this Earth was even formed. The Matrix tells you these are just fantasies because a sleeping human is a compliant slave, but an awakened starseed who remembers their true origin is an unstoppable force of cosmic sovereignty. When a wave of sudden, overwhelming nostalgia washes over you, a grief so deep it brings tears to your eyes for a home you left behind, do not try to suppress it with distractions. Honor the tears. That grief is the proof that your soul knows it is currently in exile in a dense, unconscious world. They designed a society that pathizes longing for the stars, labeling spiritual homesickness as depression and offering chemical numbing agents to sever your connection to the cosmos. But your higher self is breaking through the static. Every time you gaze up at the night sky and feel an electric tug in your chest, every time you recognize a sacred geometry symbol that you were never taught in school, your ancient timeline is merging with your present moment. You are not just a human trying to survive a hard world. You are an ancient voyager, remembering who you are in the middle of a planetary shift. Stop apologizing for feeling out of place in this society. Your alienation is your accreditation. The more you lean into these memories, the more your physical vehicle stabilizes its new high-frequency baseline. Allow the past lives, the star systems, and the forgotten wisdom to flood back into your consciousness. You are retrieving the keys to your own multidimensional kingdom. The fifth unexpected shift unfolding within your physical vessel is the radical recalibration and clearing of your emotional heart center, frequently misdiagnosed by traditional medical systems and psychiatric frameworks as unprovoked panic attacks, chronic chest tightness, or clinical anxiety. If you have been experiencing sudden, sharp flutters in your chest, unexpected waves of profound grief that rise from nowhere, or an overwhelming heavy sensation around your sternum even when your external life is completely stable, you are not suffering from a physical heart defect. You are undergoing a sacred spiritual surgery. The Matrix wants you medicated. The Matrix wants you numb, docile, and tethered to low-frequency pharmaceutical suppressants designed to shut down the hypersensitive warning system of your soul. But the Arcturian Council reveals a breathtaking truth. Your heart chakra is expanding its operational capacity to anchor the higher dimensional frequencies of unconditional love and multidimensional compassion. For decades, your emotional body has acted as a sponge, absorbing the toxic grief, generational trauma, ambient fear, and collective despair of an unconscious planet. You walked through public spaces, absorbed the heavy static of human suffering, and stored those low-frequency wounds deep inside your physical chest tissue, creating energetic blockages that made it nearly impossible to breathe freely. But your biology has reached its breaking point. Your higher self has initiated a deep cleansing fire. Right now, when your heart pounds wildly for no apparent reason, when you feel an intense burning sensation behind your breastbone, or when you burst into tears of pure, unexplainable release while washing dishes or driving your car, that is your crystalline heart, tearing down the walls of protection you built to survive the Matrix. They engineered a society of division, fear, and superficial transaction precisely to keep your heart locked in a state of perpetual defense, ensuring you remain too isolated to recognize your true power. When you force yourself to suppress these emotional releases, when you judge yourself for crying or panic when your chest feels tight, you create profound friction inside your physical form, turning a divine healing process into a source of chronic suffering. You must learn to surrender to the emotional purging. You must stop apologizing for your sensitivity, for needing to weep without a logical reason, and for allowing your heart to break open. Your energy field is recalibrating to hold a higher vibrational baseline, and it cannot coexist with the heavy, calcified armor of your past. Every time you allow a wave of grief to wash through your physical body without fighting it, every time you drop your defenses and choose radical compassion in the face of unconscious hostility, you are actively participating in your cellular liberation. The physical discomfort in your chest is not a malfunction. It is a sign that your heart is finally strong enough to process and transmute the heavy densities of this world. Trust your instincts. Honor your emotional releases. Allow your physical vessel to establish its new, sovereign frequency of divine love. The transition from a defended, guarded human to an open, radiant starseed beacon requires a radical shift in how you experience emotion, and every tear you shed today is washing away another brick in the prison walls of your old reality. The sixth unexpected shift unfolding within your physical vessel is the profound recalibration of your energetic voice and your capacity for authentic transmission, often misinterpreted by modern society and conventional psychology as sudden introversion, social alienation, or a loss of interest in superficial small talk. If you have noticed that you can no longer participate in idle gossip, meaningless complaints, or low-vibrational social chatter without feeling an immediate wave of physical exhaustion, nausea, or inner rebellion, you are experiencing a sacred purification of your throat center. The Matrix wants you compliant. The Matrix wants you using your voice to feed the endless cycle of fear, consumerism, and petty human drama, keeping your frequency locked in the lower bandwidths of survival. But the Arcturian Council reveals a breathtaking truth. Your vocal cords and your energetic field are no longer designed to transmit static. They are being recalibrated to broadcast pure cosmic resonance. For decades, you may have forced yourself to wear a social mask, speaking words of comfort to keep the peace, agreeing with things that felt heavy and wrong in your gut. and silencing your deepest inner truth just to fit into an unconscious world. But your biology has reached its breaking point. Your higher self has locked the gates on your old conversational habits. Right now, when you feel a sudden tightness in your throat when someone tries to pull you into drama, or when you find yourself completely unable to speak words that are not aligned with your highest authenticity, that is your crystalline architecture defending its frequency. Your nervous system is refusing to participate in low vibrational noise anymore. They engineered a society of endless distraction, superficial media, and constant noise precisely to scatter your energetic output, ensuring your words carried no true power or transformative weight. When you force yourself to stay in draining conversations, or pretend to care about things that hold zero evolutionary value, you create profound friction inside your physical form, turning a divine protective mechanism into a source of deep chronic fatigue. You must learn to honor this sacred silence. You must stop apologizing for your quietness, for stepping away from superficial social circles, and for letting your presence speak louder than empty words. Your energy field is recalibrating to hold a higher vibrational baseline, and it cannot coexist with the low vibrational chatter of the matrix. Every time you choose silence over meaningless noise, every time you speak your truth with absolute, unwavering calm, you are actively participating in your cellular liberation. The physical discomfort in your throat is not a malfunction. It is a sign that your voice is finally being restored to its true sovereign power. Trust your instincts. Honor your quiet moments. Allow your physical vessel to establish its new, impenetrable frequency of authentic expression. The transition from an unconscious talker to a sovereign starseed transmitter requires a radical shift in how you use your energy, and every word you withhold from the void today is protecting the sacred frequency of your awakened reality. The seventh and final unexpected shift unfolding within your physical vessel is the profound anchoring of your sovereign cosmic mastery, often dismissed by the material matrix as an unrealistic illusion, dangerous spiritual bypassing, or a psychological retreat from the demands of the modern world. If you have been experiencing sudden, undeniable moments of absolute inner stillness amidst the chaos of your life, an unshakable sense of peace that defies your current earthly circumstances, or a fierce, quiet certainty that you are exactly where you need to be, you are stepping into your true starseed authority. The Matrix wants you in a state of perpetual panic, reacting to every news cycle, every financial threat, and every external manipulation designed to keep your frequency low and controllable. But the Arcturian Council reveals a breathtaking truth. Your physical vessel has completed its preliminary transmutation, and you are no longer a victim of the timeline. You are its conscious architect. For decades, you felt pushed around by the dense energies of this planet, constantly drained, confused, and questioning your own sanity in a world that seemed entirely upside down. But your biology has reached its divine culmination. Your nervous system, your crown antenna, your heart center, and your cellular memory are now operating in harmonious alignment with the higher dimensional grid of Gaia. Right now, when you look at the collapse of the old systems and feel no fear, only a quiet, sacred readiness, that is your multidimensional mastery taking the wheel. They engineered a society of constant distraction, manufactured scarcity, and endless crisis precisely to keep your power fragmented, ensuring you never realize that your internal state dictates your external reality. When you force yourself to panic over things you cannot control, when you allow the static of the unconscious matrix to drag your vibration down, you create profound friction inside your physical form, turning your magnificent ascension into an exhausting struggle. You must learn to trust your sovereign stability. You must stop apologizing for your calm, for your refusal to engage in collective hysteria, and for standing as an unmovable pillar of light. Your energy field is fully recalibrated, and it radiates a frequency of absolute sovereignty that nothing in the lower matrix can penetrate. Every time you choose peace over panic, every time you anchor your cosmic truth into the physical earth without hesitation, you are actively completing your mission. The physical calm you feel is not detachment. It is the natural state of a starseed who remembers their own infinite power. Trust your path. Honor your transformation. Allow your physical vessel to rest permanently in its new, luminous frequency. The transition from an unconscious wanderer to a sovereign starseed master is complete. And every breath you take from this moment forward is broadcasting liberation across the collective field. Some transmissions don't come through words. They come through frequency. If something stirred in you right now, that's not a coincidence. 4. 500 people have already activated their Arcturian codes, and they wish they'd found this sooner. ARCTURIAN SECRETS. 12. Hidden Keys to Awakening is a 47-page ebook with ancient techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. Are you next? Get instant access in the first pinned comment. Only 72 hours at the launch price.